Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Pony Montana. And in this video, we're going to be going over the best lockdown coverage defense that you could play in college football 25. This is going to be a defense that you guys can take into almost any single playbook that you guys have. I'm just going to show you guys the concept that you guys can run no matter what it is that you guys are doing in college football. Now, before I get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment down below, hit that noti bell so you guys never miss an upload. And if you got nothing to say, just comment FTA. It stands for the algorithm, and it helps push these videos to more and more people. So let's get right into it. Does not matter the defense that we are playing in this video. We're simply going to be talking about a concept that you guys can utilize when it comes to Madden. Now, as soon as you start the game, there's going to be a kickoff. There's going to be this. There's going to be that, and then there's going to be a fight to what kind of scheme your opponent is running. So right now, I'm currently running a doubles formation. I actually don't know which one. Gun, wing, trips, weak. I don't know my football, but it looks like a doubles formation. So typically what happens is that a player, especially at a higher level, they're going to try to get to a specific hash mark. Now, the hash marks are the lines, the horizontal lines that are the small horizontal lines that go all the way up the field. There's a right hash and a left hash. Now, currently, I'm on the left hash. So when that happens, you're going to end up seeing your defense or your offense or the opponent's offense, towards a specific side of the field for the most part. Unless they're calling coach suggestions, then that's when things are going to change very, very heavily. So if they're not calling coach suggestions and they're calling their offense, depending on what hash mark they're on, you will start to pay attention and notice that a lot of the times, most players, most competitive players, they end up having their strong side on the wide side of the field. It just gives a lot more spacing to their route combinations. Say this guy is on a zig, and this guy's on a slant, and this guy's on a streak, I guess. Who knows? It's just all about spacing when it comes to that. This is actually a very, very known route concept. Boom. Then we have a deep corner, and then we have, let's say, a zig. Something like that, where the spacing is going to make it so that they have a lot more room to complete their passes. Now, we want to take that away. That's exactly what this entire defense is going to be about. So, say we have a fairly easy blitz to set up in this game. So let's call this G19 sail play, and say we're calling a specific blitz that our opponent hasn't really seen. So as long as you can keep the same shell coverage where it's going to appear as if you're running the same exact play, you're going to be able to utilize this very, very nicely. So let's just call DB blitz coming out of this dime formation, and we're just going to show blitz. We're just going to show blitz because we just want to send a little bit of pressure to make it seem like this is what we're doing. This is what we're all about. We're all about sending a lot of heat, sending a lot of pressure, horrible blitz, but just using this as a placeholder for an actual blitz that you guys might use. Kind of like the mid blitz that I posted. You guys could utilize this in that formation as well. Now, what you're going to want to do after you get them comfortable in thinking that you are a blitzer and it becomes a situation where they're trying to pass the ball, you can call any kind of coverage, but I believe that the easiest coverage to utilize this in is a cover 3 cloud. So make sure that your formation has a cover 3 cloud in it. Then what you're going to want to do is take your zone drops, put your flats to a 5, put your curl flats to about a 30, a 25 to 30. I like them. I like them going pretty far up the field for the most part, so that I can switch stick and go absolutely nuts with it. And then your hooks, dealer's choice. That's up to you guys. It depends on the kind of routes that your opponent is running, of course, but you have to have your zone drops at this minimum. Why? It's because we're going to set up the entire defense around that. So we're going to go ahead and call this cover 3 cloud. And the way that we're going to call it, we're going to make sure that that are the cornerback that is in a hard flat, currently in a cloud flat, we want him to the short side of the field. We don't want him towards the wide side of the field. We want him to the short side. Why is that? Is because we're gonna do exactly what we just did. We're gonna show blitz, make it look like we're gonna blitz super heavy. We're gonna shade underneath. Take this outside corner slot, put him in a purple, a curl flat, seam flat, doesn't matter. And then you're gonna take the closest linebacker or lineman on that same exact side, and we're going to put him on a hard flat, okay? This is what the play is going to look like, and we're going to put him on a hard flat. even if you don't shade underneath, you don't have to if you have the ability to put somebody on in a hard flat, but some formations it kind of stops you from doing that. And then you're going to leave this guy here. You're going to leave this hook here. Now, if you look at what I just did, you took the wide side of the field and you're sort of trying your best to completely take it away. Why? Because we have zones going absolutely everywhere. So this is going to be guarded for the most part there. He's going to go all the way up here, and then the hook is going to have the hardest job out of anybody on this side. That's the only thing that you might have to worry about. But again, your user is going to be guarding the short side. That's going to be your job as well, is to help with everything that goes before that. And the only reason why we're rocking it like this is for the simple fact that if your opponent is to call a play, everything here, you only have to really deal with two separate routes, right? And we already have a low yardage flat that's going to be able to help us, and we have a deep blue that's going to be able to help us too. So from this point and this point, our job is to guard anything that's going here, because once we cross that pattern right there, then all of a sudden we can switch stick everywhere around to these four players over here, while hoping that the pressure by the time that happens comes in and we're able to get a coverage sack. Now, if you guys want to see how it looks like in some kind of play, as you can see, everything looks fairly clamped, and by the time that happens, the defense is there and we're able to get a sack. Now I'm going to go ahead and showcase the instant replay on that, just so you guys can see that everything seemed pretty fairly clamped up, and I did call a fairly random play. Now you might have been able to hit this on the corner real quick, but for the most part, as you can see, everything is clamped up. The post in the middle, clamped up. This, as like I said, it's a short yardage flat, so this is being guarded as well. Now let me call a different play so you guys can kind of see that it's fairly consistent when it comes to coverage. And again, this is all based upon you tricking your opponent into thinking that they might not have the option to block the running back or something of that nature. So we're going to do it again. And again, you guys can turn off your auto flip defensive play call, just so you guys can make sure that the short side of the field is being guarded with that short-sided corner playing the cloud. So again, the short side is the left side, so we want that short-sided cloud to be on that left side as well. So let's go ahead and call a different play. Let's call stick, I guess. Doesn't matter. So we're gonna show blitz one more time. We already have that guy in a curl flat, so we're gonna take this guy, we're gonna put him in a hard flat. So now, if you want to, if you don't shade underneath and you're not about that life, you can go ahead and take this outside guy, the cornerback that we want on the short side, and put him in a soft squat. That's going to be an adjustment that will make your defense very easy. And again, this guy right here is going to drift off over to the right side, and he's going to end up doing his job. So he's going to end up pretty much maining this entire area, while my user has the main job of taking care of most of the things that are going around on the field. So again, we're going to call hike. Let's see if we can guard anything. Everything is clamped for the most part, and there's not much open anywhere besides the slant. We potentially could have played that or guarded that, and that's one of those situations where I'll start to notice, oh, he's starting to run slants. So instead of running the same kind of defense, we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we are putting our curl flat into a 20-yard curl flat instead of a 30 or a 25-yard, just so we can go ahead and guard that. So again, our user, let's see, boom, and then we can switch stick over to somebody else before the quarterback throws it, and all of a sudden the lockdown coverage goes absolutely crazy. Now, I do want to showcase something against one of the more meta route combinations, maybe like a super deep corner, just to showcase the stick switch maybe, and how good it could potentially be in a situation like this. So flood, for example. Flood is a very good play that gets called a lot in the competitive scene. So we're going to call the same thing. Let's see if we can make something happen here. We have our user. Perfect. Defense looks absolutely perfect, right? Boom. And again, switch stick. And we're able to sit there and guard that. That's the route that most competitive players are going to run, and that's the route that they're going to try to attack. The reason why we have this guy in a curl flat, and I know I'm giving you guys a lot of information, but I promise you take this out in a third and long situation or fourth and long situation, and your user is diligent and it's doing what it's supposed to do, you are going to go absolutely nuts when it comes on to the defensive side of pass coverage. Obviously, runs with the options and all that stuff are a little bit more hectic, and we have to do more labbing to get that. But when it comes to locking down the pass, this is a very, very good defense to utilize to absolutely clamp that down. Now, the final adjustment. So the cloud flat on the other side, turning that into a soft squat, works very well. Another adjustment that works very well, especially if you have those zone drops to where we have them, is putting this outside cornerback that's on the wide side of the field, putting him in a deep half. This is going to help. It's not putting him in a deep half. It's putting him in a deep half on the opposite side. So let me just leave him in a deep blue for now. Okay, he's just not going to an outside third either, but a deep half. So for those of you guys who don't know how a deep half works, it pretty much helps prevent coverage beaters from going over the top on this specific side. And if we have the curls that are on that side as well, it's going to make it a lot easier to actually guard those corner routes as well, because instead of him being all the way towards the outside where he potentially might not commit to stopping a corner, we're going to be able to pretty much grab him while he's in the interior of pretty much around the numbers, which is a perfect spot for him to be. This is absolutely lockdown coverage that I think all of you guys need to start trying or utilizing in college football, because it would just make your life 10 times easier. And as you can see, if you get pressure going as well, life will be very, very hard for any of the people that you guys are playing. This is the best way to lock down most passers in college football. My name is Tony Montana. Hopefully you guys appreciate this video. I will see you guys in the next one, man. As always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace.